Prepare the tranquilizers immediately. Something's not right with her behavior. The urgent message echoed throughout the primate section as Emily Harper, head keeper at Woodland Park Zoo, observed Kira, their senior female gorilla, approaching the observation glass with strange purposefulness. What happened next would transform everything they believed about these gentle creatures. The day began like any regular day. Emily had been caring for the gorilla family for 7 years, but recently something seemed wrong with Kira. The usually gentle 30-year-old Western lowland gorilla had grown increasingly upset, always carrying her 4-month-old baby, Luma, and walking near the visitors area. "She's not eating again," Jake Martinez, Emily's helper, said as he checked the records. "3rd day straight." Emily looked worried. In 15 years with apes, she'd never seen behavior quite like this. Kira had raised 4 other babies successfully, but with Luma, something was different. The mother gorilla would spend hours staring at her baby, making soft crying sounds the keepers had never heard before. Dr. Alan Reed, the zoo's animal doctor, had checked both mother and baby but found nothing physically wrong. "Keep watching them," he said. "Sometimes new mothers worry too much, even experienced ones." But Emily knew this was more than worry. Kira was one of their most stable gorillas. The problem came to a head on a quiet Tuesday morning. Among the few visitors was Linda Suarez, a retired nurse who visited almost daily. The keepers called her Gorilla Grandma. Linda stood at her usual spot, watching Kira with concern. "Something's wrong with her today, Emily. Look at how she's holding the baby." Emily moved closer, her heart sinking. The mother gorilla was approaching with purpose, holding Luma differently. Instead of keeping the baby close to her chest, she was holding her out slightly, almost as if, "Oh my God," Emily whispered, reaching for her radio. "Get Dr. Reed down here now." Kira pressed closer to the glass, her eyes fixed on Linda. What Emily saw in Kira's eyes wasn't anger, it was desperation. Kira placed one huge hand against the glass, directly in front of Linda. Then, in a movement that would later be shown on news stations worldwide, she lifted her baby to the glass and made a gesture that left everyone speechless. She tried to push Luma toward Linda. "Nobody move," Emily ordered, voice shaking. Kira made a soft hooting sound, pushing Luma toward the glass. She was trying to hand her baby to a human. Dr. Reed arrived just as Kira began making distressed sounds. "We need to get in there. Something's seriously wrong." But before they could act, Kira suddenly pulled Luma back and rushed to the corner, hunched over and making painful crying sounds. "Clear the area," Emily ordered. As security led visitors away, Linda remained rooted to the spot, tears streaming down her face. "She's in pain," the retired nurse said quietly. "I've seen that look before. She's trying to tell us something." A thorough medical check revealed the truth. Kira had developed a fast-growing tumor that her thick fur and strong muscles had hidden from early examinations. Her motherly instinct had driven her to do the unthinkable. Try to entrust her baby to humans she'd seen caring for other animals. The discovery started a chain of events that would challenge everything the zoo staff thought they knew about gorilla intelligence and expose a darker side of the zoo's operations. As Emily watched the medical team prepare to sedate Kira, she had no way of knowing that this was just the beginning. The real story of corruption, cover-ups, and unexpected heroes was about to unfold. "Get me the records for all our medical supplies over the past year," Emily told Jake, suspicion forming. Something isn't adding up. Emily's hands shook as she spread the medical supply records across her desk. 3 months of data showed a troubling pattern. Someone had been falsifying the inventory of animal medicines. "This can't be right," Jake said. According to these records, we've been using twice the normal amount of sedatives, but half our usual painkillers. Dr. Reed stood in the doorway, his face grim. Kira's blood work came back. The results don't make sense. What do you mean? Her system shows traces of experimental drugs that suppress the immune system. Drugs we don't even keep here. Someone's been medicating her without permission. That's why she's been acting strange and the tumor grew so fast. Someone's been weakening her immune system. But who would do that, and why? Jake whispered. Emily received an email from Marcus Graves, the zoo's new research director. Urgent meeting, Gorilla Research Program. He wants to meet us in the research lab now. Emily looked at Dr. Reed. Did you tell him about Kira's blood work? The doctor shook his head. I came straight here. Emily started her phone's voice recorder. Something's very wrong here. Jake, make copies of these records. Dr. Reed, don't let anyone near Kira until we get back. Marcus Graves waited for them in the research lab, a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Emily, thank you for coming. I understand there was quite a scene with Kira today. I've already spoken with the board about moving her to a different facility for specialized care. Move her? Emily's voice rose. She needs immediate medical attention. Yes, the tumor. Graves interrupted. Unfortunate development? The one that makes her a perfect candidate for our research program. The pieces clicked into place. Emily remembered grant paperwork about accelerated evolution studies in primates. You've been experimenting on her, Emily said, shaking with anger. That's why there are immune-suppressing drugs in her system. Graves' smile disappeared. You don't understand the bigger picture. If we could speed up primate evolution, push their intelligence further, the possibilities are endless. It's illegal, Jake spoke up, and it's killing her. Nothing groundbreaking is achieved without sacrifice, Graves replied coldly. I got copies of every approval document for animal testing, and none mention experimental drugs. Graves' face hardened. The board approved the transfer. Kira leaves tomorrow morning. No way, Emily said, taking out her phone. I recorded everything you said. Plus, I have copies of all the fake records. During the struggle that followed, a folder fell, spilling photos across the floor. Dozens showing other gorillas at different zoos, all with similar tumors. You've been doing this at other zoos, Emily whispered, horrified. How many animals have you killed for your research? A disturbance outside interrupted them suddenly. Sorry for the interruption. Before we continue with the story, I kindly ask you to like the video and subscribe to this channel. It is very important for us. Thank you very much. They saw emergency lights flashing near the gorilla enclosure area. Emily's heart stopped cold. What did you do to her? She demanded. Graves smiled, now showing his true evil intentions. Insurance. Can't have evidence walking around, can we? By morning, no trace of experiments. Tragic accident. Mother gorilla became aggressive. Had to be put down. Emily ran before he finished speaking, Jake right behind her. Behind them, Graves calmly picked up his phone. Security. 2 employees breaking rules, heading toward the gorillas. Consider them fired immediately. But Graves didn't know Emily had already sent the evidence to Linda Suarez, the retired nurse who witnessed Kira's strange behavior, and her journalist brother at the newspaper. As Emily raced through darkness toward Kira, she had to save the gorilla who had trusted them with her life. Emily's heart pounded fiercely as they ran through dark zoo paths. Ahead, the gorilla area was brightly lit up, portable lights casting harsh shadows across the night. A group of unfamiliar men in veterinary uniforms approached the entrance steadily. "They're not our vets," Jake said breathlessly. "I don't recognize any of them." "Call Doctor Reed," Emily gasped. "Get trusted staff and police. Now." They saw Linda arguing loudly with security at the perimeter. The retired nurse refused to leave, her determined voice carrying. "I'm a witness. That gorilla was trying to communicate something this morning." The security guard grabbed Linda's arm roughly, but she stood firm. "I've already called newspapers. They're coming right now. How will you explain experimenting on endangered animals?" Emily's phone buzzed. A text message from Linda's brother. "Story going online in 5 minutes. Officials notified. Keep them busy," Emily told Jake urgently. "Remember the backup power drills we practiced?" He smiled knowingly. "Time to turn off the lights completely." While Jake ran to the power station, Emily approached security, confidently showing her ID. "I'm the head keeper. What's happening here exactly?" A fake vet turned toward her, needle ready in hand. "Emergency procedure. The female gorilla's dangerous. Orders to—" The entire zoo suddenly went dark. Chaos erupted immediately. Emily heard confused shouts, running footsteps, and Kira's distinctive warning call. The mother gorilla sensed serious danger. Emily navigated the familiar space confidently. She slipped past confused strangers to the keeper's secure door. Her key card still worked. Graves hadn't disabled it yet. Inside, Kira was breathing heavily and labored. The gorilla huddled protectively in the far corner, holding Luma tightly. "It's okay, girl," Emily whispered soothingly. "I'm here to help you." A flashlight beam suddenly appeared. Emily froze, but it was Dr. Reed with 2 police officers. "Hands up." "Seattle Police, nobody move." More lights appeared as emergency vehicles arrived outside. Linda was outside, talking animatedly to reporters. "They've been experimenting on these endangered animals. I have definite proof." Graves burst in, his face twisted with fury. "This is a zoo emergency. These officers have absolutely no authority." "Actually," a new authoritative voice said, "they do." An FBI agent stepped forward confidently. "Nathan Graves, you're under arrest for illegal animal experimentation, fraud, and multiple Endangered Species Act violations." Emily focused entirely on Kira, who was whimpering softly. Dr. Reed approached carefully with his medical bag. "Real medical team coming soon," he said. "Emily, can you keep her calm?" Kira's intelligent eyes met Emily's in recognition. Slowly, the gorilla reached out one large, powerful hand. This time, not to give away her baby. She gently touched Emily's arm instead, a meaningful sign of trust that brought tears to Emily's eyes. The next few hours passed quickly in a blur. Real veterinarians arrived, setting up emergency treatment. Tests confirmed their worst fears. Experimental drugs had accelerated tumor growth while suppressing Kira's natural immunity. But there was genuine hope without those harmful drugs in her system. As dawn broke over the zoo, Graves' entire operation was fully exposed. Investigators found Graves had partnered with a pharmaceutical company, using endangered animals at multiple zoos as test subjects. The breaking story hit morning news nationwide. Zoo conspiracy exposed. Endangered gorillas used in illegal experiments. It quickly went national across all networks. Animal rights groups immediately demanded oversight and change. The zoo board promised full cooperation and complete protocol reform. 1 week later, Emily stood watching Kira and Luma through the viewing glass. The mother gorilla was steadily recovering, her tumor responding well to proper treatment. The drug company executives now faced serious criminal charges alongside Graves. She knew all along, Linda said softly, standing beside Emily. That morning, when she offered her baby, she knew she was sick. She was desperately asking for help the only way possible. Emily nodded thoughtfully, remembering Kira's desperate expression that day. Gorillas are much smarter than most people realize. She understood something was wrong, and that we might be able to help her. Jake appeared with a tablet displaying good news. Blood works completely clean, no more traces of experimental drugs, and the board just approved a new sanctuary called the Kira Project. Kira caught Emily's eye through the thick glass. She sat peacefully in her favorite spot, Luma playing happily nearby. Looking stronger with each passing day, her eyes clear and bright. When she reached out to touch the glass now, it wasn't in desperation. It was in friendship. The story of the gorilla's sacrifice sparked nationwide discussions about animal intelligence and research ethics. Documentaries were produced, books written, zoo policies reformed nationwide. Graves and his partners received lengthy prison sentences for their crimes. The pharmaceutical company paid millions in fines, money directed toward great ape conservation efforts. But perhaps the most meaningful change happened in people's hearts and minds. A profound reminder that animals feel, think, and trust in ways humans are only beginning to understand. Kira and Luma thrived together afterward. The baby grew strong under her mother's watchful care, unaware how close they'd come to permanent separation. Visitors who knew their story would stand at the viewing glass, watching mother and child play, amazed at the depth of a mother's love that crossed species barriers. Emily kept the security footage from that critical morning, the moment when Kira tried to hand Luma to Linda. Watching it reminded her how a mother's desperation exposed corporate wrongdoing and changed people's perspectives forever. It showed that deep truths come not from human intelligence, but from a mother's pure, instinctive love. In the end, Kira's story proved that a mother's love can bridge species barriers, demonstrating the powerful bonds that can form across enclosure walls. Did you like this story? Isn't a mother's love the strongest force in the world, no matter if it's human or animal? Tell us what you think below. If you liked our story, follow us and click like. A mother's love knows no boundaries, human or animal. It's nature's most powerful force. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Have a good day.